Dear friends, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I'm so looking forward to getting back into a rhythm now that the holidays are behind us. I've got several things lined out. I'm going to start really simple today. It's very cold here in North Texas, and we're anticipating having maybe 2 to 4 inches of snow this next couple of days. So I'm dressed like a polar bear right now in my little filming area. We're going to work on something super simple. As I've said before, my goal with my little channel is to try to create quick and easy little things that people can make just for themselves or for adding to packages for friends, that sort of thing. It's not going to have very many super long. I will do a few that are longer, but at this point I'm really trying to keep them around 30 minutes or less. I know people are busy, and I'd like it to be in pretty easy to consume bites. I'm also going to be trying to use a lot of products that people already have on hand. I certainly have some things I like to recommend from time to time. I don't have any affiliate products at this point in time, though I certainly would love to be able to do some of that just as a way to help the channel. And speaking of the channel, I hit 3,000 views over the holidays, and I know that's just really tiny in the big YouTube world, but it makes me really happy to think that people are finding my little channel and are spending a little time looking at things. I'm so looking forward to the time when people will begin to leave some comments. I know when I watch YouTube videos, quite often I enjoy them so much, but I don't take the time to stop because I watch it on my TV, which makes it really hard to then add your comments. So I understand that, but as the community grows, which I hope it will, I'm hoping that we can perhaps have a live at some point or some way that I can connect with the community as a whole. But thank you to those who have taken the time to hit the subscribe button, and I appreciate you very, very much. So here's my little lineup of things that we're going to do some similar little things here today. They're just different versions of paper clips. I've purposely kept these pretty simple. You can just get crazy, wonderful things, and I know your imaginations are just going to soar. But I want to show you how just little simple things can be really fun and useful and just enjoyable. I tend to like more junk journal style. I like bright and cheerful too, but I have a tendency to do a lot of brown edging, collaging. It's just something I enjoy. I love these little butterflies. I think I got these on maybe Graphics Fairy, printed them out, and then you can turn them into paper clips just by putting the paper clip over and covering up one side of it to glue it on. And they're really fun to stick on a birthday card, or just, people are always so surprised with these little bits and pieces that we can do. We think as crafters, I've said this before, but we think as crafters that everybody does this, but many people don't have the time, maybe don't have the mobility, are just worried that people won't like what they're doing. And I want to just encourage my fellow crafters to just step out there, do something fun. If you've got a friend who's having a birthday, make the card. It doesn't have to be amazing. The fact that you took the time to put some things together just to say hello in a very unique and special way that reflects you and your care for them goes an awful long way. Think about yourself. I know I love to get handmade cards. I just treasure them, and I actually have a really hard time figuring out what to do with them sometimes because I certainly don't want to throw them away. Sometimes I use them. I take the pieces apart and use them in other projects, but I also have just a box that I keep them in, and frankly, I go back through it and really enjoy it a lot. So don't worry about your level, don't worry about your supplies, don't worry about any of those things that are really not important. the intent and the gesture are so important to people, especially in a day where everything seems to be so rushed and costly, and prefabricated looks that come from places like Temu and that sort of thing. So just enjoy your craft, and then take the risk to enjoy it with others. This is something I created at Christmas. This is the kind of thing I really love to make and give. These are, I really think of them as texture and palette. And I love being able to just go through these, and people that I've given them to tell me that they love going through them. There are ephemera in here that it's meant to be taken apart and used. It's not meant to be a Christmas card that you just toss, or any kind of card that you just toss. It's meant to actually be taken apart. That's the joy of it, so that they can then take these things and use them themselves. They can even take the card itself apart and use that cardstock if they want to. Little stickers that, you know, we all have tucked away. Maybe there's that 2 or 3 that you've never figured out quite what to do with. Well, this is the kind of thing. Make yourself a little envelope like this, just out of vellum paper, and stick this together. You'll notice these are all kinds of little ephemera that they can make their own little cards, or if they do other kinds of crafting. These are things I purchase online. Usually it's, some of these are Tim Holtz, like these. Some of these are Prima or Stamperia or Cartabella. Just, there's a lot of different companies that produce beautiful things. And I usually, my go-to shopping, and I don't have affiliations with these people, but I just love them, are scrapbook.com, a Cherry on Top. There's lots of others, and I'm sure you found your favorite. I sometimes go into Michael's and Hobby Lobby, but unfortunately their paper products over time have really gone downhill, and the quality's not there. They're using their own brand as much as anything, and that used to be pretty good, but these days it seems to be a little lacking in creativity. Some of these, though, are. I think some of these are Michael's and Hobby Lobby backgrounds. This is just a little gift card if you wanted to give them money, or a little card. Super simple. Look how easy that is. You can do that just with your scissors. I mean, there's no need for special cutting equipment of any kind. Every paper pad has some of these little cut aparts to make it easy. This is a little bit of vellum left over from that envelope, and I just fan folded it and then glued it in, so it just gives a little crackle and texture. These little statements, you know, we find these all over the place. I love Tim Holtz. I like his snarkiness, but there's lots of others. It says, and this really spoke to me, especially at Christmas time: if you see me eating salad in a restaurant, I've been kidnapped and I'm trying to signal you. So I like that. This is one of the very things that we're going to look at today. I've used this to attach ephemera, just little bits and bobs that people can use. This is a little, I hope you can see the texture part of that. There's a little imprint of a little birds on a vine. And some more just of this little ephemera, bits and pieces, encouraging creativity, wishing them a Merry Christmas, all kinds of things. They could make out of this thing, they could make a series of little handmade cards, I hope, if they choose to do that. And makes it fun. And look how simple that is. I mean, that take about 2 seconds, which I'll show you shortly. I'm just using this as an example of things that we can do. This is just a little crinkly note. You put some things in there, things you want to remember. If you have some little, I know some people now have these little tiny cameras that make the little 2x1 shots, and those are perfect for these kinds of little journals. This is a little pocket. I love pockets. Then this is this week, and I really enjoy that, having something in that they can detail what they did during this time, put a year up here. All of these things also, if they're a traditional scrapbooker, can be taken apart after they've finished this and put into a scrapbook, or just as individual pages, or they could actually import this whole thing and strap it in with a bit of elastic or ribbon and put the whole thing into their their scrapbook. So that's a fun thing if you have people that are doing scrapbooking. So that's that. Anyway, hoping that that gave you a little bit of idea of what I like to do and maybe some things that you might like to do. So here we go. This is a little hidden paper clip. There's all kinds of styles. This one actually shows the bit of paper clip to add it to. That's probably one of the easiest ones to do because you don't have to worry so much about covering it up. I think it's lovely. This one I didn't, but I like to use these ones that are vinyl coated whenever I have it showing, unless it's for my junk journals. I then sometimes even make these look like they're corroding. It's just sort of fun in that environment to do that. This one is a silly. It's got a little tiny little booklet in there. I could have put some papers in it. I wish I'd thought of that, but I didn't at the time. But I did put a "you got this" encouragement in there. This is a fun one for office mates, although it, you know, if you've worked in an office or any kind of job, you know, there's just days where you're just beat to heck. And this kind of little thing, just take it by their desk on a little thinking of you or a meeting note, an agenda. Stick that at the top instead of just your usual paper clips that you're sticking at the top, and lighten someone's day. So there's that kind. These are super simple. This is a ribbon decorated. It's brought through super simple, and then that's been glued on the top. You can hot glue these and they hold up really well. I happen to use this art glitter glue just because I had it handy. But you can definitely hot glue these bigger pieces, and sometimes they'll last longer that way. This one, I just wanted the rose on one side, or I guess that's a rose. But so I punched out some little circles to be the backing, but you could certainly put another rose on the back side and use it that way. Hugs and kisses. We're getting ready for Valentine's Day, and if you're giving out a Valentine to anyone, or even if you've got a child, they're doing Valentines for people. This is a great little thing to make. Maybe make 4 or 5 similar little things like this. This is just a little flower that's been glued on there, and I've curled these. I'll show you that. But these would be great to give on something, a notepad, anything to the teacher as a thank you. Teachers are so sick and tired of getting mugs. And so this is a terrific thing if you have a bunch of these on just a little piece of cardstock like this, and just thank you for all you do. This would be just something really, I think most teachers would really appreciate. This one is a totally hidden paper clip, and it's kind of fun because it doesn't have a lot of folds like the example that I showed, I think, on one of my other videos. There are some that you fold and fold and fold, and that's how you make them, and sometimes that can be bulky, and I don't like a lot of bulk in certain situations. This one's super simple because it's kind of a trick. You take a bigger piece of cardstock. This happens to be very big for what I was doing. You put your paper clip actually over the top of that. I'll just show you really quick. You put your paper clip over the top of that. Then you put all of this decorative material, as much as you like, over the top to hide all that, and then you've got your paper clip. It's all ready to be used and secured, and you can go all the way up, which I really like. Certain kinds of paper clip assemblages will get stuck a little bit higher, and so you don't get to go all the way down as you might like, but this you do, and any size, lovely. Some other places that you could think of for giving out this kind of gift is if you have family in care homes. The workers there quite often are having to use paper clips to put things together, in their office setting, in their as they're preparing meals for people, all those kinds of things, and giving them something that's very pretty and heartfelt can really encourage their day as well. So, and then this one, it's sort of a variation of this, the paper clip is put over this little thing, and then it is glued to the back of this. And of course, think about it, if you've got any kind of cutout, you can do that, whether it's little kids or dogs or anything, I don't know, just the sky's the limit. And so I make these, and then I just put them in a little container. Here's one that I did on an angle, and then put this little ribbon on it, which I need to glue because it's driving me crazy that it keeps coming loose. And then I did some stamping on it, and it's another version of the one I had where it's hidden inside, so you could go all the way down. And this is a great little fun thing. Fun for a page bookmark so that people can find where they're reading. Any one of these are great for that. This one is the more traditional, where there is a folded piece of cardstock. It's where basically you're doing this kind of thing. And you're going to have your paper clip hooked up inside this part right here, and then closed, and then it comes down. Anyway, so you get the idea. Let's make a couple of paper clips. I am rattling on. Really all you need for this is a pair of scissors and a ribbon, and you're set to go with your paper clips. That's it. And then if you want to do some of these, then all you need is bits and pieces. And I don't know about you, but I have lots and lots of strips of cardboard, cardstock, and I love saving them. I have to throw them away every once in a while, but I love saving them because they are super simple to put together for just this kind of joy. And then we always have all this kind of stuff, all of us. This is something I saw on the Posh Paper Lady, who I love, on video. This is taking a special glue by E6000 that is removable. And you take any kind of, I just happened to have this bag when I was watching her video, but I think I'd rather do it on some sort of more firm plastic. But you take the glue, make these little dots. You can go watch her video about this. Do the little dots on here. They will dry. Then they can peel off, and you can use them. These are, because they're removable, they're sort of, you have to think about them in a way as being temporary. You can see that. You have to think about them as being temporary. But here is the joy of a temporary piece of a glue dot. Sometimes, especially if you're using these white glues like this one, and not using a, well, I'm just going to cut that off because I'm sick of messing with it. You can use a, if you're not using hot glue, this glue takes a while to dry. Not terribly long, but long enough. So you can take these little dots, and you can make that smaller if you want to. You stick on your little embellishment, and you can make it permanent by putting some glue on. I put it around the edges of this thing. You put this on. The temporary glue holds it so it's not slipping all over the place. As you know, especially on this slick paper, the glue just slides around like crazy, makes me nuts, and then leaves a trail around it. So you put the little removable, you're not going to remove it in this case, surround it with the glue that makes it a permanent fit, and you've got it right where you want it, and it's not going to slip around. Set it off to dry, and you're ready to go. So that's a really good video. I'll remember to put it down in the information, so you can go watch the Posh Paper Lady as she does this. She'll show you the whole thing. And if you are not a subscriber to her channel, and again, I'm not an affiliate, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. She is like an engineer in the world of paper crafting, and I just love to watch her because I have no engineering brain. Okay, sorry. I think I'm just so excited to be back with you all that I'm just rattling, and so I apologize for that. let's get started with something simple. Let's start with just decorating the clip itself. You can see, I hope you can see that there's a little divot right there because this vinyl doesn't stretch. That would bother me if I were making something like this. If I'm using it in my junk journals, I would actually probably highlight that that's the problem and let it go at that. But in this video, we want to respect the integrity of the actual metal and make them attractive. You can do this kind of curling even on these. My hands are pretty rotten sometimes when it comes to small things, but you can do them and they're actually easier on your hands. It's just that it's a very small space to work with. And you can curl them in, curl them out. You can do all kinds of things. But we're going to do it. We're going to do the big guy. Now, depending on how you're going to want to use this, you want to be sure you use the right side. So I have a piece of paper out, so I go, okay, I want that to show, or I want that to show, or I want, some people do it this way. I don't know why they do it this way, where they go upside down and do that. I've seen several people do that, so I don't get it, but this is the way I go. So that being the case, I'm going to want to curl these so that they'll actually be able to fit over my paper without it being a hassle. So you want these things to be pointing up is the short way to say that. Sorry for that. I'm just going to show you this because you guys are bright and capable and you can do your own design ideas. You can curl it in if you want, but it's going to look wonky. You can curl it out. You can make a triangle. That's actually kind of cute too. But we're going to just do this. So you need a pair of round pliers if possible. You can get by with just straight pliers, but they will actually be more of a hassle for you than using these. And they're a good thing to have in your stash. There's just a lot of things that you do with these. You're going to see that I'm kind of going to the end. The trick to using these, it really is to turn and then turn again and then turn again without necessarily. So you want to go back here. I hope you can see that. I'm afraid I'm going to finish the video and then find out you can't even see what I'm doing. Okay. You don't necessarily want it to be super big. Now I would use the flat pliers if I had had the memory to come to straighten this out, because it will bend forward a little bit. Nobody cares. But if it bothers you, then you can straighten it with these by just pushing it back a little bit. Or you can straighten it with your flat pliers really easy. So that's that. Now, in this particular case, we are looking at just using that as the decor, but you can now think, get yourself a little ring, jewelry ring, put it around this, and hang a dangle off of it. And how cute would that be? You could hang a little angel. You could hang a heart for Valentine's Day. You could hang, make it any season. You could even make it a pretty long dangle by putting a little bit of chain and going down and then hooking your dangle on that down below. Or you could do even a series of dangles. Put several little jump rings and chains, different heights, and have all sorts of little cutie things hanging off of it. So that's just another thought while you're playing around with this in your own environment. So you can do just one if you want. You can start way down low if you want and make your ring curl down there. And I'm just going to inch around and continue turning. I hope you guys are seeing this. It's very hard with my hands. I hope Yeah, now I've gotten that in wonky, but that's no big deal. It's easy to fix. Sorry, I always want to pull things up to my chest whenever I'm working on things like that. Okay, so let me just continue to turn that around at the very end. The closer you go to the end, the better your circle will be. This will be more of a teardrop. I'm okay with that. I think that's just fine. Okay, so there's how you do that. Super fun. I love these little clips. I use them for my dangles in my junk journal. And so this is an example of what I mean. You could just hook this on here and hang more ephemera down here. You could hang even another paper clip down here. Just, something like this. Just make it even more special. So this is fun. I may try to get one of these done before the video's finally edited so that I can show you what a dangle would look like on there. But you get the idea. Okay, having done that, let's make this one a little Valentine one, quick and easy, because I think I'm running really close to my 30-minute time that I had hoped. Cut more than you need. If you're a better, this one, I guess that's all I get. If you're a better planner than me, you can eyeball that better, or after you do one, take it off and measure it. Or you can do what I'm going to do, which is, this is about how long I want it on the outside. So I'm going to do this and pull these back through. And then I can cut it off wherever I want. Okay, whichever way you go in, the opposite is where this is going to be. It doesn't matter too much unless there's something on that spot that you want to show. And now my things are going that way, which is perfectly okay. Okay, so this is hugs, kisses, kisses. I think that they'll see that that's very much a little Valentine's style message. And you can do your V cuts if you want. You can do this kind of cut. I mean, this is just gonna go, this one will say Uggs and Kisses. Now this is, they won't stay tight. The ribbon wants to come undone. And so if you want it to stay, you're going to have to glue it a little bit. And you can do that when you're adding your little embellishment, if you're going to add a little embellishment, or you can do it now. And I like to do it now because I get tired of wrestling with it. So let's see if this stuff is going to behave itself. I hope so. I'm going to start, come on. Start down in there. Doesn't have to be a lot, just enough to make it a little bit sticky. Should do just fine. And I am going to also put the tad right there. This will dry clear, so you don't have to worry about it being ugly. that should... Okay. I'm going to squish that down. Okay. I have my handy dandy towel. All right. Yeah. While that's drying fully, we can go ahead and decide what we want to do with the other side. Of course, roses are always lovely with hugs and kisses. Because it's red, there aren't very many red in this, but there's enough. This will be enough for just a cute little giveaway. And again, I'm going to do my little trick I just showed you. I'm going to put this little glue dot right there. It doesn't have to stick a lot to be an extra finger for me, so I appreciate that. And you can stick it just on this if you want. And then I'm going to juice it up. Stick it down. On some of these the other day, I had to use a little clip to hold them tight while I was doing other things, and that worked out really well. I don't know what we did before these clips. I use them for so many things. Right now I'm working on a little class that I showed in the video and provided in the last video of, it's called Paper Stray Cats. It's really fun. And man, did I use a lot of these for that. That looks to me like it's gonna hold. Okay, so I'm gonna let that set aside. Let me get these out of the way. I'm gonna let that set aside and dry while we then look at something like this. And this, you can actually use these as well. They'll glue pretty well. You don't have to. These are more expensive, but you know, sometimes when I go to thrift stores, I find where in the office section at the thrift store and Goodwill that someone has gotten rid of a whole bunch of paper clips, and if they happen to have these big ones, I buy them, and they're very inexpensive in that case. They're not very expensive anyway, but man, are they a good deal then. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's, I happen to have some papers that match right here. And let's try those. I want to do something. These are also terrific if you have pieces of paper. Remember, I've said before that when we buy a new book or pad of papers, always there's like the thing that caught our eye and we've got an immediate use for, and then there's a bunch of other papers that are coordinated with it, but maybe aren't the style or design that you're crazy about. But man, are they great for this kind of thing, because once you get these things down small, you don't have to worry about it. So this is kind of fun. I like that kind of. It's interesting. I think I'm going to cut it down a little bit. You could use your trimmer if you like, but these are so simple and so small, I don't really feel the need for that. Let me, am I off camera again? I'm so sorry. Let me get these like this. Use my handy Gigantor. Okay, now this is going to be odd because the paper is going to be upright one direction but not the other, which I'm fine with. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I'm going to want this one to be a bit, in fact, this one too. Let's see how long these are. Okay. I want it to be about this long. If you don't let it be a little bit long compared to this, sometimes the pressure of the opening will cause these to come unstuck. You really have to manhandle it for that to happen, but I always try to be a little bit cognizant of that. Now, I'm going to cut this. You could cut this with specialty scissors if you wanted to, you know, with waves or curls or whatever. That'd be kind of fun. I'm going to go right there with those. I like that. And let me get, oh, got it right here. I'm going to round these because I just like these. Because this is kind of a shiny little thing, I want to not tear it. I like to tear paper that is going to have the tear is going to be related to what the background is. And in this case, this is like an old antique-y looking paper, and the tears and the bits of lace and all that go with it better. But this is kind of shiny and new, and so I think it would have a more controlled look would be better. Okay, so there's that. And then we're going to cut this even smaller. Let's just cut it right. Well, let's cut it the side that I'm going to show. So let's cut it. Let's cut it right there and give us a let it go frilly border. And this one, I don't think I am going to trim the edge. I think I'm going to let it be more linear, because this is more linear and that's more linear. So that'll give it a little contrast. Okay, so here comes the easiest part in the whole wide world. And you can actually use these little bitty paper clips for this too. There's no reason not to. Okay, so you decide what you want the front to be to be clipped to. It's going to be covered up, but there's a little more strength the longer it is. You know, so it's just, you just kind of decide what you want on the front. You know, if you want this side, that's fine, because sometimes that can mean you've got more bracing on the back as you push it in. But again, these are, don't have to overthink it. Okay, so there's that. Now comes this. And if you wanted to, you could cut a slit here and let this come up. In fact, let's do that. Let's do that. So I could do it with my little cutter. Let's do it with scissors though, because we want, how about this? Even if you, oh, where's my other hole punch? I've got another hole punch that'd be even better. Let's do, well, you know. That's the way it is in this household. Okay, no harm, no foul. So I'm just going to do my scissors, because I just realized that little tiny circle wasn't going to be sufficient anyway. So there we go. Oh, mercy. Okay, so here we go. So now we let this poke through just a little bit. Okay, and that way I can hang a little thing on there. Now you don't want to put too much glue around this thing, but you do want to put some. So it's just to keep this from sliding around. So you just do this. Then also you're going to want to do it here and here, and then And I'll also glue the back, but I'm worried about the front first, making sure I've got it right. And again, you can use hot glue to do these. I do find, though, that hot glue on shiny paper pops up. And so it just isn't as user-friendly to this surface. Now, you can just use your bone folder to really go at this. I'm not happy. See, that's this shiny stuff that makes it so hard. And like I say, no geometry in my brain, so. Okay, now because this is shiny, you could take a very, very lightly damp cloth and clean that up if you wanted to. Okay, and this one's all nice and glued. Don't have to worry about it. All right. Now, this is fine. You could decorate this now with a sticker or whatever, and you Bob's your uncle, and off you go. But I like to add an extra layer to just sort of provide some extra security for it. I could repeat. I'm not crazy about that pineapple because this one, okay, I'm going to go with this. Because I can go right to the end. I'm going to cut right along this line. I know this is very bright and probably too garish for some folks, but it suits my fancy. You have those friends in your life that they can't tolerate things that aren't color coordinated very specifically. I have a few friends like that, and I love to see how they are dressed whenever we go for an event, because I am so not that. I have great particular viewpoints about certain things, but somehow the fashion sense just never made it to my forefront. Okay, here we go with this. If you have little hole punches that do decorative punches on the edges, that would be really pretty to do with these. And I'm going pretty slow here today, but just mainly because I want people to be able to follow along without any worries. But you can actually sit down if you've got an event, like you're going to be doing something for your teacher group or your church group or your synagogue group or whatever, your women's group, Chamber of Commerce. You can sit down and bulk make these super easy. Or if you want to do them at craft fairs, but once again, I'm going to tell you, I have no knowledge about what sells at craft shows. And I've got a little talking video only where I won't be showing you anything but some images that I'm going to be putting out about craft shows and where we're headed today in that world. Because I think we've kind of had a major seismic shift. And it's really evident, I think, in this, in the 2020s, really from about 2009 on. So I'll share that with you soon. Okay, now this little guy is made. And we just need to have fun decorating him or her. And I think I'm going to, let's see, do I have any? Is that ribbon? That ribbon's a little garish, but I think it'll be all right. It'll be all right. And once again, this would be an awesome thing to hang a little doodad off if you wanted to. It sticks up like this, so I would probably put a jump ring on it. You could bend this if you wanted to, which would work just fine, so it's not sticking up, but I think I would probably put a jump ring on it, and then it would lay down flat and then be really, really, really cute. You can this is not my favorite ribbon, but it will be fine. Like I say, I am barely organized today because I actually just got my Christmas stuff down, and I haven't even brought in the stuff from outside. It's laying on the porch. It's just been cold and yucky, and I haven't wanted to go outside and mess with it. I don't particularly like the cold. I'm built for it. I'm a nice padded person, so I'm certainly built for the cold, but oh, I don't like that. I needed to go the other way. Well, that's all right. Same side. Yeah, you're fine. I'll do you this way. So hold on to this so you don't inadvertently tear or pull things out. This is likely to stay because of the way this is done, because it's tight to that area. But I think I'll probably just go ahead and, just in case, just add a little dollop that can. Okay, now, the fun part. Okay, let's get some stuff on here. I've got this little happy thing over here. This is one of those planner things, which a lot of it isn't that great, but it is. Now, if you wanted this to give to someone to maybe put on a calendar or planner, this would be awesome. And there's like a little hello. That would be cute to go all the way across. Maybe. That would be cute if it was going to be something that adding to a little package or something. Here, let's just do a hello, because I could give this then to somebody, and it kind of matches that thing. So there's that. And we just want to put some kind of little bead on there. Just a little sparkle. I think I said at the beginning that I was going to show you how to do all of these, but I think I'm going to just show this one today. If I have time as I'm doing the wrap-up online, as I edit it, I may show, but I'm always afraid that I'm just taking up more of your time with my, especially when I'm being disorganized like today, and I don't want to waste your time. But this one you could see, and we got the other one, the little simple one. We got these two done. Just do a quick show you very, very quickly how easy this one is. So you'll put out on the outside what you want. I like the big one, but you want to be able to have this as shorter. So you're going to cover it up with this. And you know what? I am so sorry I keep putting that right next to my chest. I'll just do this first and then. So you just do this, fold that over. You don't have to have much to actually stick things in there. Then I did take this little thing, little punch, and make the little, make the little corner thing, make the little chip out so that supposedly your finger can get in there to do something. Then all you have to do is put that on it. And again, you can leave it up and decorate it if you choose. So this is super simple. And you talk about fast making. I guess I am going to show you. So here we go. I'm going here. I'm just getting a little bit on there. Since it's going to be trapped between paper, it doesn't matter if that vinyl sticks or not. Then I'm just going to seal this down. I ideally would make that a bit longer, or even use one of those little clips, but this is just a rough showing. You'll get the idea. Then this one, then this side, you're just going to do this. Just like that. That makes your little folder pocket. Okay, so that's done. And now if you want to put something sweet in there, you could take a piece of vellum. You could take a piece of paper. Hello. Could take a piece of paper. And this kind of thing would be really cute to put a Christmas, to put on a, like if you're giving them a gift card or you're giving them a some money in something else, you know, a package or something. I'm going to cut that really short. And you can circle those yourself. Okay. And then we can put in, you could put in anything. Put in a star. I wouldn't use this paper. This is so stupid for me to even show you this. Best day ever. But you get the idea. There you go. Now it's ready. Stick on something. You've got a little thing in there. It doesn't. This one is just got a bigger fold. That's all. But you can just make it super simple and easy, easy, easy. So I hope, golly, I hope that this was fun for you. If nothing else, you comic relief from watching me stumble around. There's a lovely little paper clip that works great. Stick it on. Pretty on the back. You could decorate the back too. So many ways to make these very fun and very much you. And I just want to thank you. Thank you for your patience with me as I learn how to do all this. Thank you for following along by subscribing to my channel. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for adding to my numbers there. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you have a great week. And next week, I will have a more organized tutorial, but it may not be as funny. Have a great day.